Alright, here we are. Man, let me tell you about this game. This is probably one of the best games that I have been obsessing over since I have discovered it. When I saw the pictures of this game, let me tell you, I really didn't know what to expect, and this game has surprised me. So, this game is. We don't know much about the backstory. We just know that this is an alternate Spain. All right. And in this alternate Spain, we are dealing with quite a few problems. Now, I'm just going to showcase a few things. I'm not going to, show you the whole game. You should probably come and check out my live streams. That'd be the best time for you to come and see me play this entire thing if you're kind of curious. Now, the game itself, we are inside of a massive gun platform, a mech called Iron Nest. And this is probably, it's moving right now. That's why everything's kind of like just shaking and jostling about. It's a really cool game, and I wasn't expecting, gotta watch out for the barrel here. Don't want to mess up my immersion, right? Oh, alright, gonna open this window. As soon as it decides to open. Oh, okay, there we go. There's the first level. This is like a blast shield, by the way. It does close. There he goes. Oh. Okay, we've stopped moving. So you have those two massive guns, right? These are the barrels that we're looking at. All right, and oh man, this game is it's so cool. So we're gonna take a look at this over here. So here we have our mission. Our mission here is that we need to destroy a couple of targets. So really quick, let me go ahead and set the board up. All right, get some information here. So here we're able to copy down important information like coordinates, things of that nature. Stuff that's going to be very, very relevant very soon. All right. So let me go ahead and set up the board really quick. Alright, so I've set up the table at least to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be working with here. Alright, so we have this is our clipboard filled with important information, like I said before, and it gives us our bearing and distance from particular places. So we have been given 3 spotters. These spotters are located on various locations around the map in various grids. The distance to the targets, it is pretty much described as to what it is that we are going to be shooting at. Okay, now in this particular mission we are looking for infantry. All right, so if you take a look here, this is going to be important information. We want to know that this box is infantry, because here's the thing: when we go over here, we're going to set our target to infantry, and that's kind of important calculating information as to how we target things, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and look for our first target here. So our first target is bearing 235 from spotter 1. So spotter 1's up here. 235. Alright. So it comes across. Now this is not an exact science. This is pretty it's not too complicated, all right? If you ever paid attention in math class, the location of where 2 lines intersect is kind of just basically what we're doing here. The next one is spotter 2, which is right over here. Spotter 2 is located here, and we are looking at a bearing of 267. Boom. All right. So that means if I'm looking at this map, my first target is located right here. Alright. And so I'm going to take my red pencil and I'm going to measure out the distance here. Alright, there we go. And we have our information. Okay. Now the only problem is, you could probably look that this is a this is kind of a weird thing right here. So this just means that this is a residential area. So this is an urban area. So there are people here, and there might be friendlies. That's going to be a bit of a problem. All right, so there's target 1. Target 2. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward to target 2. Okay, so now this was a bit confusing for me in the beginning, and then I just kind of guessed with it, and I got it right. I figured it out. So the last one is measuring distance. So we have our little compass tool right here, right? So all I did was draw a circle and the distance from where, you know, the first spotter was, and then it gives me the distance from the second spotter. All right, so this would be spotter number 3. And then, kind of like in the same deal, wherever these lines intersect, that is generally where the target is located. Alright, so we're going to go over here to the requisition table, because now we need to target, we need to make a target here. Alright? We need HE shells to get rid of these two targets that we have for right now. So, do I have both barrels available? I do have both barrels. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp it, and we're going to switch it over, and we're going to stamp it again. Alright, boom. Now they have magically appeared. There's our shells. Beautiful, high explosive shells. Alright, and since these are the only ones that we have, we're just going to go ahead and load these up. Alright, now here's the thing. We have to be able to calculate all of these things. Well, how do we do that? You're probably asking yourself. Well, we have a calculator right here. All right, so we know we're firing at a bunch of soft targets like infantry, so we're going to locate it to infantry. Now, if we take a look here, let me get here. It says it right here, bearing to target. So our first target is at 272. So we're going to set this. Unfortunately, there is, like, you can't type it in, so you're going to have to crank it. So, it's not too precise. That's where the small handle comes in. 272, 75. Oh, the shell type that we're using is, this is kind of important because HE distance, again, is 6.7. So we're just going to swivel that around. 6.70. 6.70. Boom, there you go. Now, this right here tells us exactly how many powder charges that we need to use. Now, it's not exactly it's not exact for the most part, but you can pretty much assume like one powder charge will take you about 5 kilometers, 2 powder charges will get us 10. All right. But also the machine does help us out. 1 is not going to be enough for the distance here, so we got to do 2. All right, so there you go. Now we're going to go ahead and calculate that, and it tells us, it gives us a little ticket here. All right, this little ticket tells us exactly how we need to elevate it, and then of course what is the bearing. Now the next one is going to be 257. We'll just get the second target, and we'll just have it ready. Alright, the second target is at 735. Still need 2 charges and calculate it. Alright, there we go. So now we have our... Now we know exactly how to set the barrels, right? So each one needs 2 charges, because if you take a look at, and this took me a second to figure out. So it tells you everything. It tells you that you need to know. HE, 2 charges. All right, so now let's go ahead and load up those 2 charges. Look at this. This is so cool. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and load it up. We're gonna do the exact same thing over here. All right, I love this so much. And now the barrels are fully loaded, and they're gonna get locked in. All right, now all we have to do is now set the proper elevation. So elevation for the first target is going to be 40 degrees 20, and then the second target is going to be about 44. So we're going to wait till the barrels get there. Got to be precise when you're firing artillery. Don't want to hit the wrong target. All right, so target 1 is ready. Now this one's 44, so we gotta elevate this just a little bit. Alright, so both guns are ready to fire. Sort of. Now we need to, shift this into gear. So we need to get this at, the first one's 272. This game is so much fun. I mean, when... what's going on? I learned very quickly that these things, it's not supposed to be steaming like that. That's actually a bad thing, because you can lose power. So our gun is still rotating. Now, thankfully, we are not under fire. We just have to wait. There's probably a faster way that we could have done it, maybe. Hey, almost on the money. 272, missed it by a little bit. Alright, there we go. So now we have 272. Oh, 0.5. I gotta be careful. Alright, so let's make sure that we have this correct. 272 is the bearing, 0.5, and then our elevation is 4020. Alright, now we get to lock everything. This is the fun part right here. I love this. Alright, there you go. The gun is armed. The blast shield came down. And we're about to fire our first barrel. First barrel. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. And it tracks the flight of the shell, which is really, really cool. So when I come over here, now of course I'm expecting some probably there's going to be some civilian casualties. I'm expecting it, to be completely honest. And boom. Look at that. Look at that. That is so awesome. And then so I get reconnaissance, because they have to confirm the kill, right? So I get reconnaissance in, and it tells me exactly where things are located on the map. And look, I was actually pretty spot on. In terms of where it was located. I was thinking it was about right here, which is really cool. Alright, so now we have so that target's done. I can erase these numbers. Now let's go ahead and move this over. Oh look, I got a green light. Boom. Alright, target destroyed. Now I have to shift this barrel into the next one, into the next bearing. So we're gonna move this full. Oh, we have to move back. Move back. 257, 55. Okay, now this is gonna be a bit of a problem, right? Because here's the thing. We have a high explosive, and I just learned. I've been learning some of these tools because I've been just playing this game like crazy. So this tool lets me know how big the explosion is going to be. So I am dropping it here. Okay. This is going to be the damage radius, or at least the expected damage radius. Now we've already done the math. we've already taken care of business. All we need to do now is arm the gun. Everything's pretty much where it needs to be. And... oops, nope. Fire. I love it. Oh my goodness. Alright, here comes the second shell. There it is. Alright. 5 seconds. Yeah, that's about, see, look, that's about right. And we hit the target. Yes, we did. Target destroyed. Alright. So now I have these other targets that I also need to eliminate. But oh wait, uh-oh. A new target has popped up. We need to send a recon plane. We need to say a recon plane to P4. Alright? Which is directly behind us. We're going to take that off. Recon plane. And we got to shift this around to P. P. There you go. Alright. It didn't give us a bearing, but it just told us P4. Alright. So sure enough, look right here. We have a priority 1 target. What is that building? I've never... Underground. Oh, that's what that means. Okay. So now we need to use underground. We need to use armor piercing. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Delete that and delete this. So now that we can identify the target, we're gonna use that right there. Alright. Now we gotta go back here. And instead of using HE, I'm gonna use AP. We're gonna load it up. It's a completely different shell. Oh shoot. There you go. And also the target is a different symbol. And we have a bearing of 103. So that means we got to spin this baby around. It's got to go in the opposite direction. So while it does that, I'm going to do some calculating here. Let's see. Oh. Alright, so there we go. We have our bearing, 103.3. Alright, that's good to go. And we need to set our elevation, but we got to load up first, right? So, AP is the one that we've chosen. There he goes. And then we need 2 charges like we did before. So 1, 2. Oh. It's so satisfying just doing this. And then of course, in it goes. Now, what I love about the map is that you see that the turret has rotated on the map and it's facing in that direction. So now, and it, you know, if you wanted to take a look at what the damage is going to look like for AP, that's what it's going to be pretty much. It's just going to be a direct, because it's, you know, it's armor piercing. It's not going to explode that much. All right, so we're good to go. Now we just need to have an elevation of 4458, and then we'll be able to launch it out. There we go. 4458. 4458, check. Bearing check. We are good to go, guys. We are, fire mission is a go. We are locked and loaded, and now we're going to fire. Yes, oh man, I love that. Alright, there it goes. Everything should be on point. There we go. It's traveling. It's traveling. Got 10 seconds to impact. And boom. Target destroyed. If you wanted to like move it out, you could. All right. So we have some issues here, right? So we take a look here. So we have a heavily populated area. So we can either be precise or we can go full blown. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and be a little precise with it. All right. I'm going to throw some armor piercing in this direction. So in both directions, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and get 2 armor piercing shells. One for the left. And one for the right. Okay. And I'm not going to hesitate. We're just going to go ahead and load it up. I mean, we're still going to do the calculations. We still need, I mean, we have to. If not, we're going to be firing, in other directions. So here's the thing. This target right here is the closest. And I don't want to hit anyone else. So I need to be very careful. Because if I was to use an HE, look at that. I would definitely hit this civilian and this structure here. So I want to use AP here. So it looks like the blast radius shouldn't catch anything. Oh, the fact that I can zoom in that close. I don't need to zoom in that close, but it's there. Alright. And then, of course, the same thing is going to go for the next one. Alright. So, let's go ahead, and I'm going to fast forward, and we're going to get ourselves squared away here. All right, so we have loaded up the guns. AP is loaded, powder set, elevation set for both barrels, and also our bearing. Of course, the bearing has to be adjusted for the second shot, but that's okay. We're going to do our first one here at 257. We're arming it, and then priming the gun, and then fire. All right, there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust. It's going to take a couple of seconds before we actually get over there. Let's take a look here. There's that first target. Oh, look at that precision. Look at that precision. Didn't even hurt the civilian targets. Boom. All right. So now the next target is 271, 271.7, 3522. Everything is ready to go. Yep. Priming the gun. Gun primed and fired. Oh, man. That is probably one of the most satisfying parts of the game. Five seconds. And boom. All targets destroyed. Green lights everywhere. I have made the monarchy proud. Glory to Castile. All right. Now, all I got to do is hit that lever. Uh-oh. Sprung a leak. Okay, so you're probably asking, well, okay, he sees steam. Why is he, screwing? Why is he messing with those knobs, right? So if you take a look, everything's pressurized. Okay. So the powder charge system pressure, this determines, if this is in the red, it means I don't have any pressure, or maybe there's too much pressure. I don't know. Whatever the case is, but this system runs a lot on, hydraulics. So if there is no pressure, I am not going to be moving or ramming anything, which I'm assuming that there might be actually in the future, like moments where I'm going to have to, do repairs. Oh, hold on. I love this part. Oh, that is so cool. Shift is over. I'm announcing it. So I'm imagining that there is some moments in the game where I'm going to have to do repairs, which is really cool because underneath here, there's this starter right here. There was one mission that required me to operate this, but I don't think I did it right. I mean, I was still pretty much functioning, but it was. I don't think it was really well done, or at least the mission was. Maybe it was just me. It's always, for me, it's always operator error for me. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. So there might be moments where I have to repair this thing, which is going to be awesome. All of the little knobs, dials, and everything else like that is so cool. All right. So where's my bunk at? There's my toilet. There's my kitchen. Bunk's over here. But yeah, this is an awesome game, guys. If you haven't looked at it or you haven't tried the demo, I highly recommend that you get your hands on Iron Nest. This is one of those games where it's like it's just simply amazing. The details, all of it's just so freaking cool. And oh, that's why I can go to bed. There's still 3 more hostile infantry units. Well, they're out there. Glory to Castile. Go try this demo, guys. Link will be in the description as always. Follow the developers. Wishlist the game. If you enjoy, oh, I forgot. This is the coolest part right here too. Like, I get to click that, and I get to wear the mask. It's just a fun little immersive game. So make sure, guys. All right, follow up. Join the Discord. Follow up on everything. It's really done by really from what I can see, 2 developers. Because I will definitely be wishlisting this game. It's supposed to come out later this year, so I'm looking forward to it. But anyways, guys, tell me what you think about the game. Do you think it looks cool? Is there some things that you're anticipating? Have you played it yet? Tell me. Let me know in the comment section. All right. I will see you in the next one coming up real soon. I hope before at least Next Fest is done. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. God bless.